Hey, welcome back to How to Barbecue Right. I'm Malcom Reed. Today I'm going to show you how I sear some steaks in some cast iron out on the grill. You could do this recipe inside, but I don't want to smoke up the kitchen. So I'm firing up my big green egg. We're going to get some cast iron blazing hot, and we're going to put a good crust on some steaks. Let's get to cooking. Now you can cook any kind of steak this exact same way, seared in a cast iron pan. But if you're wanting to try some Wagyu beef, this chuck steak's a great cut to start with. I've got some kosher salt and I've got some ground black pepper. That's all that's going on them. So I'm just gonna give each side of these steaks a good dose of this kosher salt. I want it all over the steak, and I like the kosher salt because it spreads really well, gives you some good coverage, and it's gonna give us some crunch. I'm also gonna go ahead and put some black pepper on. We're gonna do the same thing to the back side of them. So in the egg, I'm starting with some Royal Oak lump charcoal, and I just scoot some of the coals around to make a depression so I can put some tumbleweed fire starters in there. Get those going, and then pile a few of the bigger pieces of lump up over the tumbleweeds. Kind of creates a pyramid, and that's going to make a good base of hot coals for us. So the egg's up to 550 degrees. That's right where I want it. Now we're ready for our cast iron pan. I've just got a well-seasoned cast iron skillet. I'm going right center grate over those hot coals. And I'm going to add just a little grapeseed oil to the pan. So we're taking the steak, we're going to go right down in the cast iron, give it a good press so we get good contact. Right away, it's starting to sizzle, it's starting to cook, and my timer's going for 3 minutes. It's time to flip this chuck steak, and look at that sear that we got on it. All that crust that's formed, that is beautiful. That's why I want to cook in cast iron. Now what I'm going to do is add a little butter to the pan, a little bit of thyme, some cloves of garlic. We're going to start our timer back for 3 minutes. As that butter starts to melt, I'm just going to grab it, spoon it over the steak. After 6 minutes, this steak is right where I want it. I want to keep it on that rare side. After about a 5-minute rest, all I could take. Time to try these chuck steaks. I wanted to cut into these dudes and just show you how beautiful that meat is on the inside. I mean, that's the perfect cooked on it in a cast iron. It's got the crust on the outside, the beautiful cook across the steak. So I'm going with a piece of garlic, piece of steak, drag it back through some of that good buttery juice that's dripped off on the board. That's heaven. Chuck steak, man. Wagyu beef, that's the bomb. This is so, I can't even explain how good this is. It ought to be against the law. But fire up that grill, get outside, cook you a chuck steak. I promise you, you'll love it.